The Yarmouk refugee camp has been besieged for more than 2 years. People starving, no running water and no electricity. And now ISIL has taken control of most of this camp. Some civilians have managed to escape to neighbouring areas.
The civilians are afraid of ISIL controlling the camp. Most people fled to areas like Yalda and Babila. They're afraid of being attacked by ISIL. Some of these villagers have reconciled with the regime, and aid is coming to these areas. The UN was able to get aid to Palestinians that made their way there.
But thousands remain trapped by the fighting, and there is now the added fear of government attacks, which are also trying to push ISIL out. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights says that the government is targeting ISIL positions with barrel bombs. This Palestinian refugee camp is less than 10 kilometers from the center of Damascus. Other groups have joined in the fight against ISIL, but they've not managed to gain much ground. There are allegations that al-Nusra Front, an al-Qaeda affiliate, is helping ISIL, even though the group issued a statement saying they are remaining neutral. There had been a reconciliation deal in the works between various rebel groups here and the government. We spoke to the Syrian Minister for Reconciliation, who says a deal was about to be signed, where the Palestinian factions would lay down their arms, and in return the government would end the siege. But he says al-Nusra doesn't want that, and so its fighters allowed ISIL to enter the camp. Whatever the politics, what was an already desperate situation for the estimated 18,000 civilians trapped there has now got much worse. The United Nations has called for a humanitarian corridor to allow more civilians to leave. The people in Yarmouk are fully dependent on aid, and none has been delivered since the fighting began. Hospitals and clinics are no longer functioning properly, but with ISIL in control of most of the camp, negotiating any form of humanitarian relief seems further away than ever. Stefanie, Dekker, Al Jazeera, Beirut.
Well, Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas says the situation in Yarmouk is a tragedy and that he's doing all he can to help.
The
Palestinian Liberation Organization in Damascus has formed a crisis cell to handle this tragedy. They are trying to work it out with the least losses. We are in touch with our brothers there to find a way out and protect our people from this tragedy.